Alright, once upon a time, there was a trash can, and its name was Reggie Steele. I'm the King of Charmanders here, and I'm here to tell you the tale of Reggie Steele, level 50 in Ultra League. If you thought you hated Reggie Steele, guess what? Yes, it can go to level 50, and it actually is extremely powerful in Open Ultra League. Now, Reggie Steele is a very legendary Pokemon, extremely legendary, in the fact that in the preseason, it was so powerful. It literally, I used it, so I'm guilty. But you hate you either hated this thing or you used it because it was just that good. Reggie Steele is an incredibly powerful Pokemon in Go Battle League just because of its combination of moves and just the fact that it's one of the most oppressive tanks in the game. It was so powerful that if you didn't have one in Season 1 or the preseason, before it got nerfed, it was just so oppressive and dangerous. In fact, it ruled the world for several months until it finally got nerfed. Someone at Niantic got their butt kicked so much by Reggie Steele, they said, we must nerf Reggie Steele. So they nerfed Flash Cannon and they nerfed Focus Blast. Unfortunately, here we are at the present time where level 50 is out now, and guess what? Level 50 Reggie Steele is actually one of the strongest Pokemon in Open Ultra League. So, without further ado, level 50 Reggie Steele, as you see, maxed out at 2766, which means it goes at near 2500, and as you see, its stats are nuts. It's an incredibly powerful tank, and its stat product plus its moveset is just nuts. Now, this is interesting because Reggie Steele as a pure steel typing actually does wall a lot of things in Ultra League. Now, you're weak to fighting, fire, and ground. Those are plentiful. Also, with the rise of G-Fisk level 50 and other prominent typings, it does have few weaknesses in the Open Ultra League, particularly like counter users like Obstagoon, etc. However, it just has so many resistances. You do resist X-Scissor, you resist Dragon Breath, Charmers, Flying type users, Grass, Ice, Normal, Psychic, Rock, Steel, and you double resist Poison. You have a ton of play. In fact, it's so oppressive, it absolutely annihilates Charmers, and it also pretty much effectively walls Cresselia. No, literally, it does crawl over Cresselia. It walls the Grass Knot, it walls your Future Sight, as well as your Psycho Cuts. Cresselia go bye-bye when it sees Reggie Steele. That's why Trash Can is so incredibly powerful and super oppressive in Ultra League before it got nerfed. And now it's back in prominence because of level 50. Now, the reason being is because of Lock-On. Lock-On generates energy quickly, and Flash Cannon, Focus Blast. Flash Cannon does a lot of damage, and Focus Blast has such... The fighting type genre in the main series Pokemon game, as well in Pokemon Go, has a lot of coverage. So because of this powerful, fast-charging moveset and just Reggie Steele stats, it's gonna be back. So... let's take a look at where Reggie Steele stands at level 50 in Open Ultra League. Alright, as you see here, we have the PvPoke.com rankings, and you have Giant Metal Trash Can called Reggie Steele XL, and guess what? At level 50, it's the number 2 Pokemon! It used to be like number 7, but then like, well, actually here, like, as you see, regular version's level number 9, and then it jumps all the way back down to like extreme prominence back at level 50. It's really freaking powerful. As you see, Reggie Steele XL is the number 1 closer in Open Ultra League. It's also extremely powerful in all other positions. Like I mentioned, remember how you destroy those Charmers and Cresselia? Guess what? You really do. You do a lot of damage. As you see those incredibly strong ratings, you one-shot Articuno. You're able to take out Melmetal and Obstagoon. Now, you do have key losses. For example, Giratina Altered, Swampert, like I mentioned, fighters, ground types, of course. Swampert does heavy damage. Gyarados and Charizard, because Charizard is a fire type. So it does have some weaknesses. However, minus its weaknesses, it's a beast. As you see in the lead, Reggie Steele XL ranks at number 14. So not really ideal in the lead, best used as a switch in the closer, but still very powerful in the lead. As you see, if we scroll down, we get... you beat Cresselia, Togekiss, Articuno, Melmetal, Obstagoon, which are actually very prominent leads. So As a lead, it's very, very powerful, as you see here. Pretty much the same strengths and weaknesses as we saw before. As a closer, Registeel ranks at number 1, beating out G-Fisk. It's able to take out, as I mentioned before, it's actually able to take out Giratina Altered in the closer at level 50. As you know, like, Gear Altered in the 2 shield is able to beat Registeel XL. As you see, that's a very strong rating. But also, there is hope because, as you see here, you actually lose against regular Registeel because Focus Blast and Swampert, Excavalier, etc., which are your main weaknesses. As a switch, Registeel doesn't do very bad. A strategy I used for Registeel was that I used it to, if I won switch, I would wall the Cresselia or the switch-in that came in, Charmer, etc. with Registeel. And as you see, Registeel XL is still pretty dang good as a switch. The reason being is because, like I mentioned, you wall Cresselia and Togekiss, and you still beat a lot of top meta picks. And you lose against, ground, fire types, etc. And of course, anything that punches you in the face is what Registeel loses to. Trash Can's still extremely powerful though, like I mentioned, most powerful closer in Open Ultra, and above all, in all positions, with shield and with energy, this thing is going to destroy everything Open Ultra. Alright, as I say in all my videos, if you would like to donate to petepoke.com, please consider doing so. Amazing website, and it allows me to do this, the Matrix. The Matrix is my favorite part because we get to see what we kill and what we don't kill. And, well, what kills us, to be more specific. Anyways, here's level 50 Registeel. I have it here, level 50, and here's level 41. So this is old Registeel, perfect Registeel, and here's level 50 Registeel. Now, as you see, level 50 Registeel is 110-15, which means you kind of need to get it traded to you in order to get a good IV one. So, as you see, those are its IVs. It's max IVs. You can use like 0, etc., but as you see, it's kind of difficult to get to level 50, so if you are scared of Registeel, trust me, it's really hard to get one, that level 50, so, but if someone does have one, it's worth looking to in here, because if you see the CP on chart right, and you're like, ooh, that's a really powerful Registeel, it is good. So we're going to run the 2 shield, as you see here, run the simulation. As you see, you're powerful against the ice types. Flash Cannon absolutely destroys everything. Charizard does beat you just because those Fire Spins chunk, and even the Dragon Breath version, because Registeel actually takes an obscene amount of damage from Dragon Breath, and Blast Burn and Dragon Claw can hurt. Even though they're resisted. Just Dragon Breath is that oppressive. As you see, you beat Clefable, Cresselia, Dragonite. The level 50 variation actually does have a weaker matchup against Cresselia, just because it doesn't have that attack to back it up. But you still win convincingly. You beat Vogers into Dragonite. You lose against Drifblim. Just because that Flash Cannon doesn't do a lot of damage and it is resisted. So actually, Drifblim kind of walls you. So just be careful about Drifblim. Drifblim going hurt. Yeah, Drifblim hurts. Just saying. So Empoleon, you do beat Empoleon being able to beat it convincingly in the 2 shield, as you see here. You beat Ferrothorn as well as Granbull. Now, Gira Altered has a really strong matchup against you in the 2 shields, so be careful of Gira and be careful of Gallade and Gengar, because those are extremely powerful. Of course, anything that punches you in the face, it's going to be a really bad time, so you should probably avoid Champ or Shadow Champ or anything that has a ground/dynamic punch. As you see here, Poliwrath is one of your biggest problems, and it does a lot of damage. The Melmetal matchup is actually really bait dependent. If they don't superpower you, you take this matchup, which is why the level 50 version, our level 41 version wins against Melmetal. You actually beat Melmetal, but like I said, you have to kind of call the bait. Because as you see here, superpower hurts. So if you call the superpower, if you have to be able to shield a Rock Slide, but if you do shield a Rock Slide, you're winning pretty comfortably. So that's a bait dependent matchup. You do convincingly beat Obstagoon, Gunk Shot, which is nice in the 2 shield. And that looks like the only thing. So in the 2 shield, Registeel is still incredibly powerful as it was before. You do pick up the Obstagoon matchup though. So Obstagoon actually is a lot more popular in Ultra League. So it's very good that you are able to pick up a convincing matchup with a convincing win against Obstagoon in the 2 shield. Obstagoon is very popular in Ultra League, so it's good that you do beat in 2 shield with the level 50 Registeel. Alright, so here's the 1 shield. I ran the 1 shield already. As you see, the 2 shield Registeel XL and the regular version, very powerful. Really the only matchup like you saw before, the only one you really flip is Obstagoon. But still, being able to pick up Obstagoon is still really good, because like I mentioned, Obstagoon is really popular in Open Ultra. As you see here, you do lose against pretty much the same things in the one shield. Charizard, you do lose against Drifblim, as usual. Excavalier, Gallade, your actual... Holy crud, are you serious? So in the one shield, level 50 Reggie Steele is actually able to beat Gengar. Is this bait dependent? I think the Giratina matchup is bait dependent. You beat all three versions. You beat both versions of Gear, including Dragon Breath. Is this a bait dependent matchup though? Okay, so you shield okay, so you shield Dragon Claw. Oh, so this is your shield Dragon Claw. And then, oh no, it's actual, like, Flash Cannon does wipe you. Wow, that's really interesting. So level 50, this is like really close, but level 50 Reggie Steele is actually able to pick up Gear Altered in the one shield, even if you do get baited by the Dragon Claw. That's huge. Wow, this thing is going to be really annoying if anybody ever gets one, so... Wow. You beat Gramble, you beat Lapras. Of course, you want to stay away from fires. That's why you lose against that. Also, Arm Mewtwo. However, you do pick up the Melmetal matchup in the ones. Now, in the mirror, level 50, like, as you see here, you lose. Well, I think this is bait dependent. If you call the Focus Blast, or... Well, you're going to straight Focus Blast, so I think you lose in the mirror against your level 50 cousin in the one shield. But, you know, that's alright. Being able to flip this in all three versions of Gira in the ones and... beat Snorlax in the ones as well is still pretty huge. You flip a lot of relevant meta picks at level 50. Primarily the Giratinas. Gengar's not so much because it's not super popular, but Snorlax is another huge one. Now, how about the zeros? We move to the zeros. What does Reggie Steele level 50 do? In the zeros, as the #1 closer in Open Ultra League, you beat a lot of things. You're going to lose against Charizard. You beat Drifblim. You beat... Giratina Origins. You would lose with the level 50 variation, as you see here, or the level 41 variation. Level 50 wins, level 41 does not at perfect. As you see here, you beat Armored Mewtwo, you pick up Poliwrath? Wow! Do you just straight Focus Blast? Normally, Poliwrath really ends your life at like, in the closer, but wow, you actually live to get 2 Focus Blasts. That's nuts. So you're actually able to flip the matchup with Poliwrath. Now, you lose against the mirror, but being able to pick up Poliwrath as a matchup, also being able to pick up Poliwrath, you pick up Drifblim. As you see, there's very subtle differences between level 40 and 50, but level 50 is able to convincingly beat Gears in the both versions, actually all versions of Giratina, in the 1 and the 0 shield, which is really nuts. This thing is extremely powerful. How about shield advantage? If you give Reggie Steele level 50 shield advantage, what? Oh... Wow. Wow. That's just the 1 to 0s. So in the 1 to 0s, level 50 Reggie Steele actually beats everything but Charizard and Shadow Champ. In the 1 to 0s, you beat Charizard. You only lose against Charizard and Shadow Champ. That's pretty nuts. You beat everything else convincingly. The 2 to 0s, you still lose against Charizard, but you pick up the Machamp. So the only thing you really lose against is Charizard, just because it does resist both Flash Cannon and Focus Blast. So Charizard seems to be the biggest problem of Reggie Steele, but at level 50, it's really good. How about in the 2 to 1s when you have shield advantage? So you still lose against Charizard, and then you start losing against some things like you'll still beat Drifblim, but you lose against Excavalier as well as both versions of Machamp. And some other things that outpace you, like Poliwrath, Swampert, and Toxicroak. So you do have some losses. However, in the 1 to 0s and in the 1 to 0s are just a shield advantage in general. You have Reggie Steele's very strong, very, very powerful in Open Ultra League. It's pretty nuts. Just like, especially the 1 to 0 scenario, just how powerful it is, or with shield advantage. Of course, there are some things you have to avoid, like Charizard, etc. But Charizard isn't very plentiful in Open Ultra League. I haven't seen it a lot. You see it mostly in Premier, but even then, like, even if you do see Charizard, like, wow. Like, these are some very strong meta matchups that Reggie Steele does beat. Wow, it's very impressive. Do I even need to tell you the rating I'm going to give it? 10 out of 10 for sure. Level 50 Reggie Steele is a monster. I mean, we hated it. We all, like, if you've been playing GBL since the preseason, you hated Reggie Steele. You hated the Reggie Gira core. Guess what? Reggie Steele level 50 gonna come, and it's gonna take you, your elo, and gonna make you cry, and it's gonna piss you off. It's gonna piss me off too, because if someone actually builds one of these things, it's actually getting monsters, it's gonna piss all of us off. Oh my gosh, this thing is so powerful. Being able to flip, the reason why I give it a 50 is, yes, Reggie Steele loses more to, but it's a huge upgrade from its original one. Well, not huge, because old Reggie Steele was still very powerful in Open Ultra. However, this just makes it even more powerful. Being able to flip relevant meta matchups, especially the ones against Giratina, being able to beat all 3 versions of Gira convincingly in the 1-0s, even if you do get baited, is huge. As you see here, this is the 1 shield with regular Reggie Steele. You give Thick Boy level, you give Trash Cannon Boy level 50, well, 51 and 50 are actually the same thing. But if you give it level 50, here's what happens. It goes from 70 all the way up to 74. That's a whole 4%. But allow me to tell you something. So that's 1-0. That's just the 1 shield. So if you go to the zeros in its strongest position, that's level 50. 81%. You beat 81% of the meta, and that takes it doesn't take a huge nosedive, but with the level well, here, let's put 41. In the 41 version, as you see here, you go from 81 and then you go all the way down to 77. So you lose 4% more matchups, but at the same time, just being like, as you see, even if it's 4%, that's still an improvement. And those 4% are, like we analyzed, meta matchups that Reggie Steele used to lose against. Of course, you're still going to lose very convincingly to things that outpace you, like Mud Boys, but you can still beat them. As you see, Focus Blast is able, and Flash Cannon are able to do some extra damage now, so there are chances for you to etch out like 1 HP in a Dream matchups. Also, Reggie Steele does have a lot of Saxop play with extra bulk, so have fun with Reggie Steele. We're all going to have fun. Open Ultra League, if someone builds Reggie Steele and builds Galar and Stunfist, it's going to be a monster combination. It's really nuts just how powerful Steel has been since the preseason of Go Battle League up until now, and how those same Steel Pokemon are just as powerful. Especially Reggie Steele, your girl. Well, Reggie Steele, your Elo, to be exact. Anyways, if you guys like this video, please like and subscribe. Again, level 50 Reggie Steele is an upgrade from its original level 41 version, and it's going to be really strong. Hopefully, we'll see what happens in the future for Open Ultra League. But other than that, good luck on your Go Battle League sets, and I will see you guys on the next video.